The following is a fictional fan-made story created by Kurapika's Judgment Chain, and contains BXB, or GXG ships. Subscribe if you want, and like the video if you like the video. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and without a shadow of doubt, Gon was sulking by the fireplace, with a frown and a pout. Kahlua noticed his lover's look of despair, so he sat next to Gon and ruffled his hair. "What's wrong, sweetheart? Do we have to do Christmas this year?" "What? Of course we do. Why would you ask that? I'm just not feeling Christmas this year." "What?" Aluka ran out from the kitchen towards Gon and Kahlua, 'cause she was eavesdropping on their conversation. "Big brother-in-law, are you feeling ill?" Mito entered the living room after hearing Aluka yelling. "Gon, what's wrong?" "I don't know, this year just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's those weird pajamas you're wearing. Where did you even get those?" "Now that you mention it, why am I wearing this?" "Gon is wearing an old-fashioned nightgown. Do you want to cuddle? It might help you feel better." "No thank you, I don't want to bring you guys down with me, you guys should enjoy the festivities. I'm just gonna go to bed early." "Okay, good night." Kahlua gave Gon a kiss on his cheek. "Night." Gon left for his room, leaving Kahlua, Aluka and Mito sharing worried glances with each other. "I wonder what's gotten into him. Maybe it's just seasonal depression. We need to do something, we can't let Gon be sad on Christmas." "Do you have anything in mind?" "We have an idea." With Gon, who is sleeping peacefully in bed. Gon was awakened by the gonging of a grandfather clock striking 12. "What the? We don't even have a grandfather clock." Gon rolled over, noticing Kahlua isn't in bed yet. Confused, Gon gets out of bed and searched the entire house to find no other living soul. Maybe they went Christmas caroling or shopping at the market stalls. Gon climbed back into bed and almost drifted back to sleep before being startled by a familiar moaning. Gon sat up in bed to find a ghostly image of Hisoka dressed in tattered clothing and chains. "Hisoka, what are you doing here?" "Fear not, I'm here to warn you, Gani baby, warn you about the spirits of Christmas." "Spirits of Chris." Gon stood up from bed and walked close to Hisoka. "What are you talking about, and what the heck are you wearing?" Gon extended his hand to touch Hisoka's clothes, but was surprised to find he is unable to touch Hisoka as his hand completely passed through the clown as if he was a ghost. Magician. Anyway. "Hisoka, are you dead?" "Only for the Christmas special. Don't worry, I'll be back as good as new tomorrow." "Oh, how disappointing. So mean. Why are you here?" "I'm here to warn you, Gon, you've awakened the spirits of Christmas, and you need to make it right." "What? How have I awakened the spirits of Christmas? What the heck even is that?" "The ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future gone. Your refusal to embrace the Christmas spirit has made them restless. They're coming to visit you tonight, and I have been sent here to warn you." "Oh, I get it. Aluka set this up, didn't she?" "Alright, if this is for Aluka, I'll play along." "No, Gon, this is not Aluka's doing." "Sure it isn't. I don't have much time left, my connection to the human world is weakening. The first spirit will arrive once the grandfather clock strikes 1. But we don't have a grandfather clock." Before Gon could finish his sentence, the window in Gon's bedroom flew open, pulling Hisoka outside into the cold night. "Please, Gon, listen to my words, don't ignore the spirits of Christmas, it's not too late to make things right." Gon ran to the open window, finding no trace of Hisoka. That was odd. Gon looked towards the alarm clock on his bedside table, the time read 12 a.m. No time passed, maybe I was dreaming. This wouldn't be the first time I had a nightmare about Hisoka. Concluding the previous event to be a dream, Gon climbed back into bed and quickly drifted back to sleep. An hour had passed before Gon was woken up once again by the gonging of a grandfather clock. Seriously, where is that clock sound coming from? It's getting really annoying. Gon. Gon was startled by the whimsy whispering of a ghostly woman, sounding to be in his head as her voice echoed through the entire room. "Who's there?" "Gon, over here." Gon turned around to see an angelic apparition of a woman sounding and looking like Mito. "Whoa, Aunt Mito, you look beautiful." "Thank you, dear, but I am not your aunt, I have only taken on her form as to not frighten you. I am the ghost of Christmas past." "Oh, this is Aluka's doing, I thought I was dreaming earlier." No, Gon, this is not anyone's doing but your own, for I am real. Sure, sure. As to not spoil what he assumed to be a surprise set up by Luca, Gon decides to play along. What is it you want with me, ghost of Christmas past? I feel as if you have lost the spirit of Christmas, Gon. I am here to reignite the joy of Christmas in your heart. Oh. I'm sorry, Aunt Mito. I just don't feel the Christmas spirit this year. It's nothing personal. Is there a reason as to why you feel the need to shut out Christmas this year? Gon looked down at his feet, not wanting to give an honest answer to the woman's question. No, not really. I just feel like skipping this year, that's all. Take my hand, dear. Let's reflect on Christmas past. Perhaps we can find reason as to why you've lost your spirit. Gon held the woman's hand and instantly began hovering off the floor as his bedroom window swung open. The angelic woman began flapping her wings and gracefully flew out the window with Gon's hand in hers. Aunt Mito, how are you doing this? Have you learned to use Nen? Hold on tight, Gon. The ghost of Christmas past took Gon high in the air. The island shrunk in his vision as he reached the clouds, which turned into a blinding white light, forcing Gon to close his eyes. I can't see. The cold from the clouds faded as Gon felt a cozy warmth spread through his body and his feet touched the ground. All right, Gon, you can open your eyes now. Gon opened his eyes, seeing himself as a child opening presents with Mito on Christmas morning as if he's staring at a memory. How is this possible? Have we time traveled? Am I in a coma? Gon approached his younger self and reached out to touch him, but his hand went straight through. You're seeing a memory, Gon. You cannot interact with them. Why am I seeing this? I am not sure. You tell me, what is different in this memory of Christmas past than the present year? Gon stayed silent in a moment to reflection. Well, I was still a kid who believed in Santa. Would you say that's what stole the joy of Christmas from you, learning the truth about Santa? No, Christmas actually became more special to me after finding out how hard you worked to get toys for me on Christmas. I see. But what changed? Aunt Mito, can we go home now? Looking at this memory is kind of bumming me out. Sure, dear, take my hand again. The ghost of Christmas past took Gon back into the sky as he touched her hand. The blinding white light returned, forcing Gon to shut his eyes once again, opening them once he felt his feet touch ground. Looking around, Gon found himself to be back in his bedroom. I must go now, Gon. Please take time to reflect on your memories before the present pays you a visit. And Gon, Merry Christmas. Aunt Mito, what do you mean by that? Another blinding white light filled the room. Once it faded, Gon was left alone once again. I'm so confused. Gon looked at the alarm clock on his bedside table. The time read 1 a.m. No time passed again. This thing must be broken. It can't be 1 a.m. Or maybe it's the lack of sleep giving me hallucinations. Whatever, I'm going back to sleep. Feeling the effects of lacking sleep, Gon decided to lay down. Another hour passed before Gon is awakened by a gonging of a grandfather clock yet again. Slightly annoyed by now, Gon turned over in bed to see his bedside alarm clock reads 2 a.m. I'm going to find that grandfather clock and destroy it. Not a morning person, are you, Gon? Gon turned around to see a jolly man looking and sounding exactly like his husband. Kahlua, what are you wearing? You look hot. Gon happily approached the man he assumes to be Kahlua and placed a hand on his chest, feeling his muscles. Where did you get that robe? Hey, don't touch me like that. I'm not actually your husband, I've only taken on his form. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. Oh, you guys are still going on about that. Just take my arm. Gladly. Gon took the man's arm, taking the liberty of squishing his face into the man's strong shoulder while doing so. The ghost of Christmas present rang the bell in his hand, which wasn't visible in the image cause I forgot to add it, and filled the room with a blinding yellow light, forcing Gon to shut his eyes. What's with all the blinding lights tonight? It acts as a transition to the next scene. You can open your eyes now. Gon opened his eyes to find himself in the living room of Mito's house, the time set back to a few hours ago. Kahlua, Luca and Mito stood around the fireplace discussing Gon's odd behavior shortly after he left for bed. What do you suppose we do? We need to do something big, so big brother-in-law couldn't possibly be sad. Maybe we shouldn't do anything. What? Christmas will only put pressure on Gon to act happy and cheerful. Maybe we should skip this year as well to allow Gon to recharge his light. I think Kahlua has a point. What? That's not what I want at all. Fine, if that will make big brother-in-law happy, then no Christmas this year. Aluka dramatically ran towards the front door with tears in her eyes. Gon tried to grab her arm but his hand passed through her as she ran outside. Aluka, wait. You're seeing a memory of a few hours ago, Gon. You cannot interact with them. But just because I wanted to skip Christmas this year doesn't mean they have to. Do you get it now? Your refusal to embrace the spirit of Christmas is dimming the light you shine upon others. That's not my fault. I told them to enjoy the festivities without me. It's because they love you, Gon. Your emotions are spreading to them. Well, bah humbug. If they want to be dragged down with me, then so be it. You really are stubborn. I'm going back to bed. That's fine with me. The ghost of Christmas present rang the bell in his hand, summoning the yellow light to transition us to the next scene, which is Gon's bedroom. You know I could have just walked up here. That's not how this works. The ghost of Christmas present grabbed Gon's shoulders. Listen, Gon, it's not too late to make things right. I know you don't want your family to be as miserable as you. Rude. You need to get to the root of your problem, and you need to do it soon, before the future shows you what's yet to come. Can you say that again in English? There's no time left for me, I have to go now. And Gon, Merry Christmas. The ghost of Christmas present rang the bell in his hand once again, disappearing with the yellow light as it faded away. This has got to be the strangest night of my life. Gon looked towards the alarm clock on his bedside table. The time read 2 a.m. Still 2. Gon yawned and got back into bed, just wanting to sleep through the night without being woken up every hour. But of course he was once again awoken by the gonging of a grandfather clock. Oh, for God's sakes. Gon looked at his alarm clock that showed the time to be 3 a.m. Gon, now very annoyed, stood from his bed and began looking around his bedroom. Alright, who's next? Let's get this over with. Gon. Gon spun around to see a short hooded cloaked figure behind him. Excuse me, short. What, you're short? I'll have you know I'm an average height. Hello. We'll discuss this later. Fine, but it's not gonna change your height. Ahem, Gon, I am the ghost of Christmas future. I figured that. What's with the attitude? I don't have to be here, you know. I'm doing this for your benefit. Sorry, you'd be cranky too if you kept getting woken up every hour. The ghost of Christmas future pulled back his hood to reveal a face that looked to be Jing's. Man, I hate wearing this thing. Dad. No, Gon, I've only taken on your father's physical form, just like the other spirits of Christmas have. Oh yeah, sure. Gon still thinks this is all Aluka's doing. Listen, Gon, if you keep going down this path, Christmas will forever be a depressing day for not only you, but your entire family. So what you and the other Christmas spirits are telling me is that if I skip Christmas this year, Christmas will be ruined for everyone forever. Exactly. Isn't that a bit dramatic? Yes, it is. But let's be honest, this is your family we're talking about, they're all a bit dramatic. Yeah, I can't argue with you on that one. The ghost of Christmas future flicked his cloak, engulfing the entire room in a thick black smoke. A short moment later the smoke cleared, revealing the living room of the Princess house. Why have you brought me here? Take a look around, Gon. Tell me what you see. Gon studied his surroundings. The house looked as it would any normal day of the year. It's the living room. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. I've taken you to the future, Gon. Today is Christmas Day of 2026. So we didn't decorate this year. Big deal. The conversation is interrupted by the sounds of footsteps walking downstairs. Gon turned around to see Kahlua and Aluka carrying suitcases with Mito following behind. Are you two sure you want to go? There's no point. Gon's in the same mood he was in last year, so I'm spending Christmas with my parents. You can come with us, Aunt Mito. Thank you, dear, but I'm going to stay with Gon. He doesn't want to celebrate, but I still can't let him be alone on Christmas. Kahlua and Aluka are leaving. Gon reached out his arm to touch Kahlua, but of course his hand went straight through him. Gon, haven't you learned by now you can't touch a memory or vision? Now who has an attitude? We'll be back after the new year. Alright, enjoy the holidays. Kahlua and Aluka gave Mito a quick hug before leaving through the front door. They really left. You forced them to. Wait, you said I can't interact with a memory or a vision. Correct. If this is a vision, that means it hasn't happened yet, so I can change it. Correct again. But how do I do that? You can start by figuring out the root of your problem. Gon, why do you want to skip Christmas this year? Gon stared at the floor for a moment before answering. Well, this is probably going to sound stupid, but there's nothing to do this year. Last year I needed to make Christmas special for the Zoldycks. The year before that was my first Christmas with Kahlua as a couple. There's no goal for this year. That is stupid. Rude. Gon, you don't need to set a goal. You don't need to have a plan or one-up yourself from last year. You just need to be. You don't need to bring anything special to the holidays. You just need to be there. Go with the flow. Don't you understand that? Setting goals sometimes does more harm than good, because you become disappointed if you can't achieve those goals or if you feel like those goals are not good enough. Some of the most special memories are made on a whim. I see. Gon chuckled. Man, I look like an idiot, don't I? You do. You weren't supposed to agree with that. But that's okay, because it's not too late to make things right. The ghost of Christmas future flicked his cape again. The black smoke cleared to reveal Gon in his bedroom once again. This is where I leave you, Gon. You're going to fall asleep as soon as I leave, and when you wake up it will be Christmas morning. Wait, you're leaving already? Aren't you going to celebrate Christmas with us? Your father will show up to celebrate as well as your friends. Gon studied the facial features of the man standing before him. You're really not Jing. No, Gon, I'm not. Did Aluka do this, or was this all real? Everything that's happened to you tonight is as real as a dream. What's that supposed to mean? Are you gaslighting me? Physically, you're still sleeping in your bed, but emotionally you've been conquering your problems in your head. With some help, of course. So I am dreaming. Merry Christmas, Gon. The ghost of Christmas future flicked his cape once more, filling the room with black smoke as Gon fell unconscious. Gon was suddenly woken up by Aluka jumping on his bed. Big brother-in-law, wake up. Sorry, Gon, I told her not to wake you. Is this real? What time is it? Gon rolled over to check his alarm clock. The time read 6 a.m. It's morning. It's Christmas. Gon pulled Aluka into a hug. Yes, it is. Are you feeling better today, Gon? Gon took Killua's hand and pulled him into the hug. Yes, I am. I'm sorry I was such a killjoy last night. I promise it will never happen again. I'm glad to see you're feeling better. Big brother-in-law, come downstairs, we have something special for you. All right. Aluka took Gon's hand and practically dragged him downstairs. Once in the living room, Gon is greeted by a tall skinny box wrapped in festive paper. What is this? We got you a present, from all of us. Open it. Gon excitedly unwrapped the present, finding it to be an old-fashioned grandfather clock. When did you get this? Well, right after you went to bed, Aluka became sad and had the idea to check out the local market stalls. We wanted to do some therapeutic shopping. We came across this grandfather clock and thought you would like it. The damn thing started going off every hour, so I had to rip out a few gears. It doesn't make any gonging noises now, hope that's okay. Gon studied the clock. A large smile appeared on his face. It's perfect. Gon pulled everyone into a group hug. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video.